What's going on? Tony Teflon the Don. I'm here with a Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 2 review. Alright, first off, what I'm going to say is I'm going to try to, it's hard for me to do a review after I'd seen last week from reading the books and not giving a lot away. So what I came up to do is I'm going to try to give you a little background on the houses and on certain characters that they're not giving you in the show to try to make up for me not spilling the beans on a lot of things. And I won't spill the beans at all. There won't be any spoilers in this. If there was a spoiler, I do it at the end and I tell you so you know to turn it off and it'll be done. Alright? Also, you may see me a little scruffy this week. I've decided that for the Game of Thrones, I'm not going to shave my beard, get rid of my sexy for 10 weeks as long as the show is on. And then we'll see what it looks like after, which is probably be horrible, but I don't know. You can shave it off. That's cool. So what I'll give you right now, I'll give you the background on this one house that they keep showing the Lord for, but they don't talk about. And that's Lord Roose Bolton. So this is the background on House Bolton. House Bolton are they're men for the Starks. Their place is called the Dreadfort. And it's one of the strongest garrisons, one of the strongest castles in all the north, if not all of Westeros. It's very hard to penetrate. The Lord is Lord Roose Bolton. He has a son called Ramsay Bolton. The sigil is an upside down filleted man on an X, and their words are knives are sharp. Another common saying for them is a naked man has few secrets, a filleted man has none. They back in the day they're known for their filleting of their enemies alive. They love to take the skin off their enemies alive, and they've also been known to wear the skin of their enemies as cloaks around the Dreadfort. They had a rebellion about it, and it took over 2.5 to 3 years for Lord Stark and them to try to siege the Dreadfort. Still could not get inside, but starved them out, so they had to bend the knee again. And at that time, Lord Eddard Stark banned filleting in all of the North. So that's a little bit. I'll tell you that, yeah, the symbol, I told you the symbol and all that, the sigil, and all those words. So that's a little bit of House Bolton history and stuff like that, since you see Lord Roose around and stuff like that, and you see his ex with the filleted man and stuff, and you may not know a lot about him. I think this episode, basically, when I look at it, it looks like a lot of cliffhangers at the end. You get Arya finally getting known by somebody. We thought Littlefinger would know it, but the Hound knew who she was and said it right there. You have Bran finally finding out about what he is, and that these are not just dreams. That he really is a validation that he's inside of this animal, his wolf, and he's able to do it. You have also Brienne and Jaime getting caught by House Bolton men at the end. So we'll start off with Bran since we started there. Bran finally gets a name for his power, a warg. He's able to warg inside this animal, maybe certain other animals, and see through their eyes and hears things. And he meets Jojen Reed, who can also do it. So now you learn that Jojen Reed can do it. Also, they showed you later on Jon Snow. He had a guy up there that could warg into animals. So it's not something that's secret. It's not something that only one person can do. There are people in Westeros who can do this, which is very good. So you got Jojen Reed. Jojen Reed, and his sister Mira Reed. Their father is Howland Reed, and they're from Greywater Watch, and he's a lord of Greywater Watch, Howland Reed, and that's their son. So they're not just like some dirty little kids. She's actually a lady, and their father is a lord too. So that's good about them. It goes from there to, let's go to John. Basically there with Bran finding out what his name, his powers and stuff like that, and what he's able to do. That's going to open up a lot. And I think that's basically where his story at that point ended, right there. That's basically what you need to know for them. Jon Snow, well, you hear a little bit more. What you learn about Jon Snow is there's another guy he meets that's a warg. There's other wargs, so people know about warging. Alright, Jon didn't know anything about it, so he's learning too. And you also learn a little bit of history behind Mance Rayder. Now, I don't know if they said it, but Mance Rayder when he was, they say he's from the Night's Watch, but he was found by the Night's Watch as a baby. He was a wildling baby. They found him after doing a raid and brought him back and raised him on the wall. And then when he got older, he defected back over to the wildlings. And then there was already people trying to be the king of the North. He took out 2 of them, and then they made him king and they made him king beyond the wall. Sorry, king beyond the wall. And that's how they made him king beyond the wall. And you learn a little bit more about this. He goes into the story and stuff like that. But not very much on Jon. In fact, no Daenerys, and that's shocking at all, because they showed that support in the beginning scene. Speaking about the beginning scene, Winterfell on smoke. I don't know what no one can say that. It's phenomenal. Not that it's all smoke, but the fact that they did that in the beginning credits, I think, is great. Alright. Catelyn we'll go to. Basically, what you get about Catelyn is you hear her opening up a little bit, telling a story how she hates Jon and why she feels that all this stuff is happening because of her actions that she did to Jon back in the day. Which could be true, which may not be true. And it's true, all she had to do was love a motherless boy, and she couldn't bring herself to do it. So that's what you get about Catelyn. In the book, I will give you this. When she sets Jaime Lannister free, she finds that out, gets that letter before saying that Bran and them were killed. That is the reason why she sets Jaime Lannister free, because she believes that Rickon and Bran are dead, and the only children she has left are those girls, so she sets Jaime Lannister free. I think if they would have did that, it would have given her a little bit more justification of doing what she did. And I think they should have did that. They should have kept it to that, but they changed it up a little bit. It still works, but that's the reason why. I think it makes Catelyn look more foolish letting him free. This way, if they would have waited, it would have made people sympathize with her more, and the reason why she let him go free. Alright, so now we go to, let's go to Joffrey. Joffrey is still Joffrey. And the best thing you can see about Joffrey is that Cersei cannot control him. He has his own will. He does what he wants. So her big plan of putting her son there and basically ruling through him, it's not going to work. And she's finally realizing this, and she's seeing this, and what she does about it is going to be determined later on in the season. I like this episode. I'll get real quick. It's not a lot of action, and I know people complain there's not a lot of action in the first 2 episodes. Can't have that every episode. That's not what this is about. This is a drama. It builds. It brings you to it makes you care about the characters, and then it snatch them away. And I think that's basically how Game of Thrones operates and stuff like that. So we're building right now, and I think we're doing a good job building. I like this episode a lot. So you also meet Marjorie Tyrell's grandmother, the Queen of Thorns, Olenna Redwine, the Lady of Highgarden. They don't say about her that she once was betrothed to a prince Targaryen, and she canceled that out to marry Luther Tyrell. She did not want to marry the Prince Luther Tyrell, who she also claims to be an idiot, which him riding his horse off a cliff and killing himself probably makes him an idiot. So she's probably right. What they don't say a little bit about is that the Tyrells are, like, the guys are like these blonde hair, very good looking guys and everything else, but they're idiots. And the political savvy, the political brains are really at the women that control everything, which I think you're starting to see a little bit. I like her character in the book. She's known for her sharp tongue in the books, and she does exactly the same thing here. She speaks her mind. She says what she wants to say, and I think she's a phenomenal character. And the woman playing her is phenomenal. You couldn't have done better. And you have also become to Arya, who gets captured by the Brotherhoods without banners. Now, I don't know many people remember, but the Brotherhoods without banners, Bagdarian and Lord Eddard Stark sent them out earlier when the guy came, when he was serving his hand and Robert was out hunting and he was sitting in a chair. The guy complained about the mountain chopping him down, all of killing everyone and chopping people in half and cut a horse's heads off with one blow, and he had that bag and he dumped it on the floor with all the fish. And then Lord Stark, as hand of the king, sent out the man to go and bring justice to Tywin Lannister's men, and then presented Tywin and named Tywin Lannister basically an outlaw and to come to Winterfell to answer for his bandit man's crime. He never did. Those are the Brotherhood. They're still out there, and they're still loyal to Eddard and Robert and against the Lannister rule. And they're just a band of outlaw groups who are just grabbing up Lannisters and anyone associated with them and killing them. So Arya runs into them, and she meets a couple of them and stuff like that. And finally, someone recognizes the Hound. How they got the Hound? They got the Hound drunk. The only way to really capture the Hound. They got him drunk, bagged him up, and he recognizes Arya, and it leaves that at that. So I think you're going to get a lot of good scenes coming from that. You know, how is that going to play out? There should be a really good scene coming from that coming up soon, I would think. I mean, the Hound, they're going to kill him right away? They're going to keep him captured? I don't know. I mean, guess is as good as mine. But it has to be something. I don't think that they're going to let her go knowing now that she's a star. From the reaction of the look they got, I think they're going to have to keep her there, even though they were going to let her go. So that's that. I think that's basically everything I covered in there. Theos and Mir, if that's, I do believe that's who he was talking to, and that's who he met. He's also, he's a red priest, just like Melisandre. I don't think they showed him anything, but Theos and Mir is a red priest, just like Melisandre. If they said that, I don't know. If they didn't, I'm sorry. That doesn't really spoil anything. I think that's good. This episode's much better than the first episode. We're building, and it played this episode just like the book. I'm very happy with this episode, more than I was with the first episode, and very excited, looking forward to the next episode, and so on. So I'm going to try to keep this up. Doing this for you. I'm getting rid of my sexy for you guys. And I'm going to become a Northman. Alright? I'm going to try to keep this up. And if it starts itching too much and everything else, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to try it. Alright? Keep that up. Leave me a comment. Subscribe. I do this for me. I do this for you. I know some people out there may get thousands and thousands of hits. I get like maybe 100 if I'm lucky. And I'm happy to get those 100. So subscribe if you can. I'm going to keep this up and keep going with it. If there's anything you want to hear or any background I'm not covering or anything about a house you want to hear, put it in the comment section and I'll make sure I'll make a video of it for you. Alright? You have a good one. This is Tony Teflon the Don saying peace.